Let's start with Standard Chartered, because this is really bad. There is now a potential criminal penalty against Standard Chartered after a deeper investigation to them violating these Iranian sanctions.
Yeah, this is very bad news for Standard Chartered. You get the sense that they thought they were done with this. You know, back a few years ago, they paid a very big fine, $667 million, not an insignificant amount of money. And this was essentially for disguising their work with some Iranians and moving money around, especially at a time back then. Not that things are great with Iran right now, but a time back then where that was very much a no-no.
Some Iranians, including the central bank. Exactly. I mean, it's not like just some guy walked in off the street and said, I'm not Iranian.
You're right.
Central bank. But they also have a tough time with the Trump administration, because on the one hand, Trump administration appeared to want to go a little easier on some of these banks.
Yes.
On the other hand, Iran...
Right. That is the key to this whole story. Like, obviously, if you're inside Standard Chartered, you were worried about this from a very parochial perspective. But if you're elsewhere on Wall Street or in the government or watching from afar, you have an administration that is very much, as David says, of two minds. Trump has taken an increasingly hard line on Iran specifically. There have been tweets, to go back to tweets, over the past few months, negotiations, all sorts of things about the Iran deal that the Obama administration brokered. And yet you have Rod Rosenstein, the Deputy Attorney General, coming out and saying, you know what? We're going to lay off the banks a little bit. And, 10 years on from the financial crisis, this is one of the big discussion points all across Wall Street.
And interesting, as you have sanctions coming back on Iran now from the U.S., if they don't have these banks they can rely on, does it make those sanctions hurt even more than it did before? So that's going to be interesting to see how they can possibly get around that.